Uh, uh. Welcome to another episode of Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. Welcome, everyone. I see, let's see, we got Gigi by the Sea, Zelda, Monique Lee, Foxhill Dreams, Ness from Connecticut. What's up, my friends? Oh, there's that damn Karen. I see you there. Welcome, you guys. Aries Wanderer. Elaine Prieto is here. Cha-Cha, there she is. Cha-Cha, hello, welcome. Glad to see you guys here. Okay, so I got a few things on tap for you guys. On tap, Samantha McIntyre, I see you. Let's pop this up on the screen here. The topic, did I say hello, Zelda? I got you, Zelda. All right. The topic for tonight is, the main topic is Israel-Hamas conflict. But we've also got Tommy Tuberville, Rand Paul, and the $6 billion lie. Hello, Asmila J. I see you. Bernadette, hello, my friend. We got Representative George Santos was indicted yet again today. It's a superseding indictment. It's like 23 counts now, including fraud and conspiracy, a whole lot of shite. And of course, Tommy Tuberville and Rand Paul are both trying to be the biggest jackass in the room, putting our country and our allies' security in jeopardy. Hello, Trump Reaper. I see you there. And of course, the main story of the day, of the week, is very disturbing. It's very upsetting. It's the war in Israel, between Israel and Hamas. And we're going to get into that. But first, I want to remind you, if you are watching and this is your first time or maybe your second time and you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do so. And on your way there, if you happen to pass by the button that looks like a thumbs up, that's called the subscribe button. Do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do the show a favor. Click that like button. It helps the show, it helps me. It'll help you too, because you're clicking something. The act of clicking is therapeutic. Hello, Katrina Jones. I see you. Also, just a reminder that BDD also has a subscriber service, and I feel I should mention this to you. This last Sunday was focused on hashtags and trending topics. Very interesting. In fact, it's so interesting that I have to break it up into 2 or 3 segments. So what we're doing is every week I introduce a topic and I go into detail on how to do these things and to do them well and effectively so that you can trend, so that you can build your follower base, what have you. So there you go. So speaking of Twitter, and yes, I'm still calling it Twitter. I have not taken to calling it X yet. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid to call it X. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And the new owner of Twitter is Elon Musk. And this meme here on the screen, it says, "Get ready, everybody. He's about to do something stupid. And it's a Homer Simpson meme that is not doing that's an insult to Homer. Yeah, because Elon has done some dumb things. Sometimes I wonder if it's dumb or it's just intentionally shitty. Yeah. So he's allowed a lot of shady, hateful characters back onto the platform. He's made a bunch of changes to the interface, how it looks. Now there's suddenly a focus on views. That's important. And at one point, he wanted to take away the block button, and then there was an uprising. Hello, Luppy girl. I see you, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, people rose up and are like, "Hey, Jack, back away from that block button. We need that shit." Yeah, and what else did he do? He did the he charged people $8 for a verification badge, which has, by the way, created some serious problems for a time like what we're in right now, with a war going on. It's already difficult as it is to verify information. Hello, Wilbur McCarthy. I see it, my friend. Welcome. And Stella Baxter. It's already difficult to verify things that, information sources, even without his, pay $8 for a verification badge. Now, anybody with $8 can sign up and they look like you can't trust that verification badge anymore. It's not worth anything. It's not worth the $8 you paid for it. And look, full disclosure, I pay $8 but I'm not paying for the badge. I am paying for the bookmarks and for the longer tweets and all that other stuff. Yeah, but whatever. I suppose I'm complicit too. Like my NBC News repost about 65 faux sources on Twitter. Oh, I'm glad I retweeted that because I meant to. I'm glad I did. So the latest brain fart that this guy is going to be subjecting us to is he wants to take away the retweet and like and reply icons. Yeah. So how it would work is that you're scrolling. Oh, and before I forget, he took away the banner that indicates whether a picture is associated with an article. So now you can't really tell if something is an article. You have to look really, really closely. So screw you if your eyes are poor, if you have bad eyesight and you can't see the little text at the bottom left of the picture, now you can't even tell what's a news article. He's on some kind of aesthetics kick, right? I imagine it will greatly improve readability. Asshole. So that's what he's doing with the like and retweet buttons. He's hiding them. The only way you will see them is if you click into the tweet, which is weird because now you have to. I think a lot of people are going to lose engagement. He wants to boost engagement. I think this is going to crush engagement even further. Because who the hell wants to click into a tweet unless you feel compelled to? Well, some people actually do like to check out the replies. I myself check out my own replies, and you can't check out the replies unless you click into it. So there is that. Yeah, maybe I'm making a big deal out of nothing, but maybe I'm not. It wasn't broken, dude. You don't have to fix everything that ain't broken. For crying out loud. readability. What is that? The like and retweet buttons weren't hurting anybody. They were just minding their own business. Let's see. Power Beard, welcome, my friend. Power Beard says it might increase engagement if you are curious to see the stats. Interesting. I still don't like it. Yeah, I mean, what engagement is that boosting? I mean, is it a forced view now? Is it that important? I don't know. Then I can't, I think it affects the speed in which you're, I don't know. I don't like it. All right, moving right along. I also don't like Representative George Santos. What is he doing still in Congress? What is he doing? I mean, this is bonkers. It's bonkers. I mean, I know that they're desperate for his vote, but at what cost? You are projecting. And by you, I mean the Republicans are projecting that anybody, even a felon, can be a member of the House, that it doesn't matter if people break the law so long as they vote along with you. Oh, Power Beard, I see a comment there. A good coder would have let it be toggled on and off by the user. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a coder at all, but I agree with that shit. So yeah, he's gotten hooked for a bunch of things like conspiracy, fraud, for fraudulent statements, and wow, just what a shame. What a damn shame. And what's weird is that when I don't even think when Bob Menendez, when that whole shit broke, like half the Democratic Party was like, motherfucker, you got to go. You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here, god damn it. Those Democrats, man, we got no room for that bullshit. We got no patience for that. Because right now, if you're out there committing crimes, and I know Bob Menendez deserves his day in court the way everybody else does. All right, everybody deserves their day in court, even Orange Mussolini or whatever, He deserves his days and weeks and months in court. But such a bad look, man. We are not the party of crimes, for crying out loud. That's not us. So anyway, he for now he appears to be safe until election day. It's wild. And it's so weird. This is such a weird house. You got the last time I was here with you guys, I don't remember if Kevin had been given the boot yet, but he was given the boot, but he won't even leave. They asked him, some reporter asked him today, if they were to offer you the speakership again, would you take it? And the guy's like, well, it's not up to me. You see, that's the very reason why you don't deserve it, bro. You can't even say whether you want it or not. What kind of leader is that? You can't even say if you want the speaker's gavel, which you shouldn't. They just chucked you. And it's probably at this point, they're saying, even if someone were to renominate him, it would be, even more difficult for him to get back in. He's lost votes since he left. And this asshole was trying to give, was it Fox News? 5 points. 5 points for what he would do in Israel. Man, shut up. You had your chance. You blew it. Shut the hell up. Don't nobody want to hear your opinion about anything. And now this takes us to the other chamber of Congress, the Senate. There are 100 senators, 2 for each of the 50 states. And from Alabama, we got Tommy Tuberville, who is currently exercising his right to be a dickhead and to hurt our military and to hurt our allies with his military blockade. He says he is not going to lift his military blockade, even though this whole thing is going on with Israel. Even though it's 300 military nominees, there are 3 different branches of the military that currently do not have Senate confirmed leadership. This is insane. It's outrageous. And as I said on this show before, it's not just about, okay, so Sergeant Johnson gets promoted to captain, I'm not sure if that hierarchy is, if that's how it works, but whatever, you get the idea. Sergeant gets a promotion and that's that. No, like that promotion in many cases is connected to sometimes a move from one state to another or from one country to another. And you can't just move. I don't know if you guys have ever, moved from one state to another, but there's a whole lot of logistics involved, especially if you have kids. Where are the kids going to go to school? And where are we going to live? And all that stuff. And they can't do any of that because this jackass has made the military his, his political statement on abortion. He doesn't like the Pentagon's policy on allowing its members to cross state lines to get an abortion because their stupid ass state does not offer it anymore because it's been outlawed. Some kind of garbage, come on. Sergeant to staff sergeant. Thanks, Power Beard. It's outrageous. And somebody got up in my replies and saying, "Oh, what's the big deal? So they don't get, promoted. What does this have to do with Israel?" Well, let me just tell you, when shit is jumping off, like a war, for instance, and it's one of our allies, one of our close allies, and Israel is a close ally, you don't want to be caught with your pants down around your ankles, unable to act, unable to function because your military is not whole. The military is not whole right now. The people who need to be in place are not in place. And Rand Paul is making things even worse. Again, with a completely non-related issue, he has got a blanket hold on diplomatic nominees. So, as a result, we have no Senate-confirmed ambassador to Israel. Isn't that wonderful? That's insane. And on one side of these people's mouth, they're going to say, Israel is our friend, and, President Biden it's his fault that this is happening to our friend. And on the other side of their mouth, well, we don't have an ambassador. Oh, well, I need to make a political statement on this soapbox about COVID. Yeah, Rand Paul is putting a block on diplomatic nominees until he's given some information about the origin of COVID. I mean, dude, really? Now? Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And that brings me to the Israeli-Hamas conflict. And I've been calling it the Israeli-Hamas conflict, even though it is, it's technically between Israel and Palestine. But I like that they're framing it this way because I personally don't think that the majority of Palestinians are on board with what Hamas did. Look, at the end of the day, uh, some people are Catholic, some people are Muslim, some people are agnostic, some people are atheist, some people are Hindu, some people are Buddhist, some people are Christian, some people are Jewish. But we all understand family, right? You have brothers and sisters, you have children, you have parents, and you don't want anything bad to happen to them. So this past Friday night, hang on, let me just cut off this music here. This past Friday night is when the attack began. And I'm not sure if it began at this musical festival. Apparently, there was like a musical festival going on where people just got together to listen to music and dance and be young and have fun. And these monsters came and shot up the place and assassinated, murdered people in the prime of their lives. I don't believe the Palestinians are on board for that. I don't. I bet you if you ask the average Palestinian on the street, do you approve of this? They would be like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I wish they wouldn't even associate us with those actions. They're horrible. These people were shot at point blank range. Point blank. Apparently, this was learned from dash cam video. Somebody had, dash cam on that recorded this. Currently, now there are 1,900 people dead as of the last count I saw on MSNBC about a half hour ago. And I'm not sure what that breakdown is, because the numbers are moving, but it's 1,000 of one and 900 of the other. It's 1,900 people. That's a lot, and it's only going to get worse from here. Women and children were kidnapped. There are over 100 hostages. They don't have a solid number on that. I've seen some numbers as high as 150 hostages. Yeah, and by the way, if moderators, if you see people jumping on here and saying, that they approve of that, of hostages being taken, of people being murdered, innocent civilians being murdered, just kick him the fuck right out. I also saw something that was so horrendous. I couldn't believe it was real. They said 41 babies had been decapitated. That just, how? How? I mean, if you are trying to generate sympathy towards your cause. I can't think of a worse way to do that, to get people on your side. I can't. Who's in favor of that? Nobody. Babies? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? That's like, thank you, Wilbur. This is a great point here. You can support Palestinians without supporting Hamas. I saw something interesting earlier today where somebody had to break that down, that not all Palestinians are Hamas. It would almost be like somebody learning, somebody from a European country, learning that you are uh, from America and assuming that you're MAGA. Now, am I saying that MAGA is the same as Hamas? No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just drawing a comparison between, MAGA is a small. Actually, I think MAGA is probably a bigger slice of the overall community than Hamas here, than Hamas is over there. I don't think, I think Hamas is and this is, by the way, you guys, you know that I normally do not discuss is the Israel-Palestinian conflict because there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of shit that I don't even know what I don't know about it, right? Um, what I do know is that Hamas it tries to position itself as a militant arm of Palestine, but they're not. They're just terrorists. They're terrorists, and it's fine to call them terrorists because if you're killing babies, if you're kidnapping people, then those are things that terrorists do. It's that simple. And yeah, I understand that there are two sides to this conflict. There are two sides. There absolutely are two sides. Um, as I understand it, this is my rudimentary explanation of the overall history of this conflict. Palestinians used to live there, and then they were forced to leave, and then Israel was created after they left. They made that place that was previously Palestine. They turned it into Israel, and this was after uh, World War II, after the Holocaust. And then the Palestinians came back and they were like, "Hey, what happened? Why the fuck are you in my living room?" You know, and then that began the years long conflict that we see today. Um, and there's a lot of blood lost in this conflict. There's a lot of people whose grandparents and grandchildren have been killed by both sides, and there's got to be a solution. I feel like at one point we were very close to a solution, and the solution can only be a two-state solution. It can only be a two-state solution. That's the only thing that works. I can't understand how there are people living on this planet who have the audacity to say that that one group of people does not deserve to exist on this planet. And I have seen that. I have seen that directed at Israel. It's wrong. Point blank. It's wrong. So Wilbur says, I don't like the way Israel keeps taking more and more of the Palestinians' land, and that doesn't make me an anti Semite. I have seen that. I have seen that. A comment. Here's Adam Jones. Adam, I don't think I've seen you here in the show before, but I do appreciate this. Adam here says both Israel and Palestine deserve a state of their own and have peace and self determination. I would love to see that. And I can't understand. We have so many brilliant people on this planet. Why we haven't been able to get people together to figure out a solution. I think, and Adam says, first time, welcome, my friend. Welcome, Adam. Um, I think the change has to happen at a grassroots level. And when I say that, I mean like, you know, when people go to the masjid, you know, um, for Juma, they go to the masjid and the imam, you know, starts breaking it down to him and telling him, look, my friend, look, my brother, you know, this is what we have to do. We have to coexist, you know, and I know it's painful, but, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then the rabbis and the synagogues, they got to tell their people the same thing. And it's probably going to be a long process. It's not going to be overnight. It's probably going to take a generation. So much bad blood. And this thing that is happening right now is not helping matters any, because you know you done poked a bear in the eye with a sharp stick. Hamas did that. What's up, Alaska? Cindy from Alaska is with us. Yeah, they did some horrendous things. You know, today I watched too many stories of, you know, people crying. They lost. They can't find their daughter. You know, their son. They were on the phone with their son as he was being murdered. You know, just horrible, horrible, horrible stories. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to be Muslim or any religious denomination for your heart to break for these people. You don't. And so now what's happening? They got no power. There's no electricity. There's no water. Uh, there's no oil. Nothing for the past, I guess, what was it, 2 or 3 days? Um, that's going to become a humanitarian crisis soon. Um, and then there's all these hostages. It's not like, you know, a handful of hostages. It's over 100. How do they get them back? Seriously, how do they get them back? Israel is talking about doing a ground offensive right now. They have hundreds of thousands of reserves that they've called up to go and um and act and do a search, maybe a search and rescue thing. But how are you going to do that without jeopardizing the lives of the people who have been taken hostage? Who knows what these Hamas monsters have planned? Have they booby trapped the doors? Do they have hostages set up in certain rooms with explosives around the door? Who knows? I have a good imagination, and you know, I shudder to think what kind of wickedness these criminals, these terrorists, have planned. So there's been an air war. There have been missiles uh, being shot into Israel from Gaza, and Israel has that thing called the Iron Dome, which basically takes out missiles as they enter the airspace. So that's been happening, and Hamas apparently this was like an extremely um, extensively planned mission. Yeah, they were on what do you call those things? Hang gliders. They took hang gliders over the wall, and uh, oh, I got to talk about the $6 billion. The $6 billion that was unfrozen to Iran in exchange for our hostages. We had five hostages released, and this was last month. Nowhere near enough time between the time we agreed to this and the time this attack was launched. It's only a month. They've been planning this thing for months, plural. They were going to do it anyway. But you have these ghouls on the right, these Republicans who are straight up lying about it and saying that Tim Scott said some disgusting thing. He said that President Biden has blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. There's so much wrong with that statement. First of all, this $6 billion has not been released to Iran. It's sitting in a bank. It's like a third party um, setup. No funds. Not one penny has been released to Iran. That's number one. Number two, it's not even taxpayer money. It's not like it came out of my paycheck and yours and yours and yours. It was Iran's money that they made off of oil sales or something to South Korea or something. Three is that this money can only be used for humanitarian purposes. That's food and medicine. And four, the money is being closely monitored. And five, the money can be frozen again like that. The minute that it has been determined that any of it is being used for terrorist purposes or to fund Hamas, for instance. So, yeah, our intelligence agencies are getting to the bottom of things. They're trying to figure out, they're trying to ascertain whether or not Iran was connected to this attack. And since Iran is one of the primary sponsors of Hamas, that most people think, well, yeah, clearly Iran was involved. But, that remains to be seen. That has not yet been confirmed. Hello, Watcher Soko. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. So yeah, like I said, I normally don't like to chime in with this topic because, like I said, I don't know enough to sound like I know what the hell I'm talking about. But in the instance of this, even I, even I was able to consume the gist of this, and so I felt a responsibility to get that out there. Excuse me, Power Beard. Yes, people all over X have been saying fungible. Dude, it's not just today. I started seeing that this weekend. So fungible means interchangeable, right? So people are saying, man, it doesn't matter if they didn't give them that money because money is fungible. So if they knew they were going to get $6 billion at the end of the year, they could start spending money because it's fungible. Idiots. He said it's the F in NFT. That's funny. Yeah, so Oh, and Anthony Blinken also confirmed that $6 billion in unfrozen Iranian funds remain unspent in the wake of the Hamas attack. Trump reaper. If Uncle Clarence Thomas couldn't eat mushrooms, would it be a non-fungible token? That's funny. That's very funny. I like it. Uh, Thank you for that. Here's another one. Smilla J. They don't know what a lid is either. They argued so hard about it. So yeah. So yesterday or the day before. Today's Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Shit. Yesterday they were complaining. Where's Joe Biden? Where's President Biden? What they called a lid? Yeah, the lid just means that there's no more press shit. It doesn't mean that he goes into his bedroom with a box of cookies and a bowl of ice cream and watches Friends for the rest of the day. That's not what it means. It just means that there's no more new stuff. In fact, President Biden was huddling up with world leaders from Germany and France and the United Kingdom, uh, and hammering out the details of an agreement for this thing. That's what presidents do. You didn't see him, dropping angry tweets about the lawsuit that his not lawsuit or whatever the legal action that's been brought against his son. You didn't see him say anything about a witch hunt. No, he's busy working like a grown up. Dude's copying my beard. Okay. Um, let's talk a little bit about let's talk about misinformation and disinformation. And I had a space this past Sunday. I'm sorry, you guys. It was a subscribers only space, but it was very interesting, and we did talk a little bit with this guy. His handle is Natsec Media. His name's Chris Natsec Media. And we're talking about misinformation and disinformation. And this is one of the things that scares me about Twitter during a time of war. It's the same thing that caused me to pull back in my engagement on Ukraine. So shortly after the Ukraine war began, I'm sorry. Wilbur McCarthy said, "I'm so old. The lid was a 20 bag of weed." You guys are killing me. Um, yeah, so I pulled back from engaging on Ukraine stuff because back then that was before Elon had taken over, but still we had misinformation and disinformation rife on the site where people were saying, "Look at this video; it just happened today," and actually that video was from years ago. You know, so here, article from Wired.com. It says people who have turned to X, that means Twitter, for breaking news about the Israel-Hamas conflict are being hit with old videos, fake photos, and video game footage at a level researchers have never seen. Yeah. And see, that's the problem with taking off all the guardrails on a site that everybody has access to, and there's like no rules. People just can do whatever the hell they want to do, and that shit is damaging. It's damaging. It's stupid. I want to draw your attention to the screenshot on the right of my screen here. It's from Cheyenne Sardarzadeh. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's also at Cheyenne86. And this person has been putting together some fantastic threads. showing all the different the proliferation of mis and disinformation on Twitter since the beginning of this Israel-Hamas conflict. It's good stuff there. So, dang it, that's my ring light, precariously positioned. It's gonna fall again. Don't mind it. Online misinformation is ramped up following the escalation of violence between Israel and Hamas today. This video of a tower block in Gaza being hit by a missile is from May 2021, not today. It was captured live during a BBC Arabic broadcast at the time. And he goes on. These are fantastic. Here's one here. Oh wait, this wasn't from him, but this it's another one. Heartbreaking on the left. Heartbreaking Hamas terrorist with a kidnapped Jewish baby girl in Gaza. These barbarians are laughing, and the caption in Arabic reads, "A lost girl with laughing emojis." And if you look below the context there, it says, "This video does not show an Israeli girl with her Palestinian kidnappers. The video was posted on TikTok on September 8th, a month prior to the ambush. The TikTok post has since been deleted." It was probably a guy with his own little baby girl. Here's another one from Cheyenne Sadarizadeh. Says there's been a concerted effort in pro-Kremlin circles to link Hamas to Ukraine. This is an example of it. There's no article or report with this headline on the internet, and Israel has not made such a claim. It's completely made up headline posing as a real news story. So this says here, near Ashkelon, Israeli soldiers detained terrorists with weapons from Ukraine. And it's not even a real article. It's just been photoshopped. And that's the problem. As Mila J pointing out, community notes are helping with fighting disinfo as much as possible. But it's like if there's so much of it, how do you stop it? How do you stop it? So I wanted to share this with you so that when you see these things on Twitter, before retweeting it, take a minute or two, take 5 minutes to verify that it's not bullshit. Look through the comments first. It's a good idea to look through the comments because often when somebody debunks a poser, they will reply to them, right? So check the replies and see what you can find there. And if it looks suspect, do a quick Google search for it. The Alaska Cindy wants to know how long before the Nazi removes community notes. I'm surprised he hasn't done it already because he was community noted. He was, I think, about a month or two ago. Elmo was himself community noted. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this does not expand into a bigger fight in the region. As we all know, the Middle East has been a tinderbox for some time. I'm a little bit worried, to be perfectly honest, and like I said, our military is not whole right now. So this is like really the wrong time, the worst time for us to be caught with our pants down around our ankles and not be prepared. And I honestly hope, I don't know what these Republicans think, that do they think that Americans won't remember that it was Tommy Tuberville's fault that we didn't have military leadership in important positions, or that it was Rand Paul's fault that we didn't have an ambassador to Israel? at this crucial time? Because if that's what they think, they're dead wrong. I guarantee you. I will make it my mission to remind people. I will do that. And I'm sure you guys will too, to a certain extent. Sure of it. Did you see that EU is demanding Elon clean X misinformation up within 24 hours? Yeah, I did see that. I don't believe uh I don't believe that he is going to um comply. I don't think so. He's not a complier. He's a dickhead. He's a billionaire. He's not accustomed to complying with shit. He does whatever the hell he wants to do. Punxsutawney Mo, what's up, my friend? Someone wants to know, what do you think about the Orange Nazi threatening travel bans again? Just red meat? It could be. I mean, it's gotta be just red meat if his chances of getting back into the White House are as dicey as I believe them to be. And right now I believe them to be dicey. Um and if these establishment Republicans, the Mitch McConnells, um, the Mitt Romneys, even though Mitt Romney is not running again, you know, what's the guy, Mike Lee from Utah? I mean, he's a little bit out there, but he's still establishment. Lisa Murkowski, you know, establishment senators, and even some members of Congress, are reasonable. You'd like to believe they're reasonable. Why aren't they doing what they can to poke holes in Spanky's tires? Huh? They should be helping to trip him up, because it's not helping anybody if he gets back into office. If he gets back into office, we'll never have another free election. We won't. And that's not hyperbole, and I think you guys know. So it's critical. He also will not he will avoid accountability, I think. I think he will attempt to pardon himself and create yet another constitutional crisis. Here's another question from Mr. Punxsutawney Mo. Wants to know if RFK Jr. Oh well, he did become an independent. He became an independent. I think it was yesterday. It was officially today. Excuse me. Wants to know, does that help Trump or Biden? I think it's too soon to say, but I feel like it helps Trump. Yeah, I think RFK Jr., when he entered this space, he entered as a Democrat. Now, none of the Democrats I know were fooled by his ruse. He was a Steve Bannon plant, palling around with Mike Flynn and Roger Stone. No Democrat worth his weight in salt, or whatever, however that phrase goes. No Democrat worth a damn would believe that he's a Democrat and would cast a vote for him. But I imagine that there's probably maybe 1%, maybe a 0.5%, that can be peeled off from the Democratic Party for RFK Jr. And these are people, I'm assuming, that are completely unaffected by the outcome of the election. These are people that, doesn't matter to me who wins, because I'm going to be fine no matter what. These people don't give a damn, and they don't give a damn about other people. There are people here commenting about his family. Yeah, his family spoke out against him. Trump Reaper saying, hopefully JFK Jr., RFK, excuse me, Jr. doesn't become Ralph Nader, the sequel. Agree. Uh, Interesting. Limitless Thinker says they said on the news that more Republicans are interested in RFK. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense since uh, he's been promoting a lot of that anti-vax talk, and that tends to be more of a Republican thing than a Democratic thing. Uh, Audrey, what's going on? His own family disavowed the candidacy. Yeah. And Power Beard says his last name has big power with low info voters, but they have to also be told not to vote for Biden. And Alaska Cindy, I'm not going to read your comment, but I'm going to leave it up there. His wife. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. Wifey and I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. We never liked Cheryl. Seriously, we never liked her character on the show. Because let me say this: Larry David, his character is an unlikable guy, right? But she's married to him on the show, right? She's his show wife. She never had his back. Like whenever the shit went sideways, she, she was always getting in his shit about it. And I know that's how Larry wrote. I guess that's how Larry wrote it, but I didn't care for that. Let's see. Hurricane Assembly made a statement about voting for him that is brave. Yeah. So I think it's safe to say nobody here is voting for RFK, and that's good news. It warms the cockles of my heart. uh, yeah. Okay, so do we have questions for me? Questions? Yeah, and I don't like that RFK. Just in case I wasn't clear about it, I don't like him. Plus, didn't he say some anti-Semitic stuff? I feel like he was saying something about Ashkenazi Jews or something about with the COVID. Vaguely recalling something about that. Vaguely. Cockles of my heart. Isn't that a saying? I swear I didn't just pull that. Here, wait. Let me look that up. Uh, Here, warms the I just typed warms the cockles of my heart is the first thing that popped up. Here, wait. Yeah, I didn't just make it up. Let me show you guys. Okay, so when something warms the cockles of our heart, it is a reference to something pleasant that makes our heart beat faster and makes us feel good. It is probably also the origin of the saying that something gives us that warm and fuzzy feeling. So there you have it, guys. The more you know. Uh oh. Wait, did I lose you? Oh. It's on the wrong page. Okay, so here's a very important statement right here from Aries Wanderer. Attention. If you live in Ohio, early voting begins tomorrow. Good to know. Good to know. But yeah, warms the cockles of my heart. Just every once in a while, I'll pull out a phrase that I've heard in the past, never used. That's literally the first time I've used that phrase, the cockles of my heart. Um, oh, interesting. I missed this. Powerbeard says Hannity turned on RFK Jr. and it was beautiful. Now that he's a threat to GOP votes. I did not know that. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. And yes, Powerbeard, most likely, if you DM it to me, I should be able to play it. Wilbur McCarthy pointing out RFK said that the COVID virus was engineered, there it is, to affect Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people the most. Yeah. Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Some crazy shit. And then he denied it. There was a whole thing. It was in the news cycle way longer than it should have been. There was a whole thing that he denied it, and then people played it for him, and he denied it anyway. It boggles my mind when these politicians do that. I don't think I could do that. I don't. I saw him do that, and I saw that smarmy dude, Vivek Ramaswamy. I saw him do that. Just straight up deny that he said some shit, and then they're like, "Roll the tape," and then they play the exact thing that he just denied that he did. Oh, you're taking it out of context, and then he'll go off on a tangent, and never come back to it. Crazy. Limitless Thinker says RFK Jr. doesn't have what it takes as far as having charisma. I don't see it going very well. So here's why RFK Jr. only slightly concerns me. Only slightly, despite the fact that you guys said that he's going to take Republican votes and blah blah blah. You will know how accurate that is by who starts attacking him, right? If he gets attacked, by Republicans, then we know that he's a danger to Republicans. But if he gets attacked by Democrats, you know, you know. And let's see. Hang on. So Powerbeard says he just DM'd me this video, and maybe what I can just do is pop it up here, and I can play it and share it with you guys. How about that? Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Present share screen. Share screen. This one. Share.
I'm giving you comments that you made in 2016, 17, 19. Endorsements. We know the years Gore, Kerry, Obama, Hillary, Bernie Sanders. They're all recent quotes. The NRA quote you made about calling them a terror group was 2018. So these are recent positions you've had. That I'm not sure why the Democratic Party wouldn't allow you to compete.
Do you want to talk about my position, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to read talking points from the Trump campaign?
Well, excuse me. These are not talking points. These are called Hannity points. I do my own research.
No, but
I mean, by the way, I'm giving you comments that you made in 2016, 17, 19. Endorsements. We know the years Gore, Kerry, Obama, Hillary, Bernie Sanders. They're all recent quotes. The NRA quote you made about calling them a terror group was 2018.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Scott has said, Ross Perot laughing from the cosmos. Can I finish? Can I finish? Fun fact, I did vote for Ross Perot. What was it? 1990 had to be 1996. Yeah, because in 1992 I was a mess, but 96 I was fine. I was in college then, so I think that's when I voted for Ross Perot because I didn't like Bill Clinton and I didn't like Bob Dole. So I thought, he's lesser of like not lesser of two evils, but whatever. I voted for him. He clearly did not win. But no more. No more. No more. And I will not be wasting a vote on RFK Jr. It's Joseph R. Biden for me all the way. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for another fun episode of Late Night with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you have not yet gotten your shot, then pray tell what for you are waiting. Get that shot. Also, make sure you keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you again for joining me tonight. Remember, if you have not yet hit the like button, please do so. If you haven't yet subscribed to this show, please subscribe, tell your friends. And until next time, peace. That's my jam in the background. Hey, Powerbeard still recovering from his shot. Well, I'm glad you got it, my friend. Same thing here, Scott. Thank you for joining. And there's that damn Karen. Good night to you too, my friend. Stella Baxter in the heezy. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, Limitless Thinker. Lumpy Girl. Lumpy Girl, nice to see you. You have not been around in a while. It's good to see you. Thank you too, Cindy. You said backseat music. Yes, that's Mila J. Thank you, Watcher Soko. Samantha Hawkins. Adam Jones, I hope you come back and join us again soon. Probably be doing this again next week. If I'm going to have one sooner, it's probably only if something like major happens. Like major. Major. Thank you, Elaine. And Audrey, we've missed you too. Welcome back. Set your notifications for BDD. And on that note, my friends, you don't have to go home, but you can stay here. You need to